Tonight's story is not just fiction. It is based on an incident that was said to have happened in real life. A silent night, an unknown call, and something that shouldn't exist. Before you listen, remember one thing. Not every call is meant to be answered, and not every voice is human. It was around 1 a.m. Rafi was alone in his small apartment, working late as usual. Outside, light rain tapped softly against the window, and distant thunder echoed through the night. Suddenly, his phone rang. An unknown number. He ignored it at first, but when the call came again and again, he finally answered. Hello. Silence. Then a faint whisper. Can you hear me? Rafi frowned. Who is this? The voice trembled. Please help me. The call ended. Rafi stared at his phone, confused. He assumed it was just a prank and went back to work. But 10 minutes later, the phone rang again. Same number. This time, he answered more cautiously. No words, just breathing, slow, heavy, as if someone was struggling. Then the voice returned. They're looking for me. Rafi sat up straight. Where are you? What's going on? You can see me. The call disconnected. A strange fear began to grow inside him. He looked around the room. Everything seemed normal. But then his eyes stopped at the mirror. For a split second, he thought he saw something behind him. A shadow. He turned quickly. Nothing. He tried to convince himself it was just his imagination. Then, a knock on the window. Soft but clear. He slowly walked closer and looked outside. Nothing, only rain. But on the glass, there was a handprint. Wet, fresh. His heart started pounding. At that exact moment, the phone rang again. He answered immediately. Why did you go to the window? Rafi froze. Who are you? They're still outside. Who is outside? You don't understand. I'm already with you. The line went dead. Suddenly, the power went out. Darkness filled the apartment. Rafi turned on his phone's flashlight. The beam shook as he moved it around the room. Then he heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Right behind him. He turned around. No one. But the sound didn't stop. Then he realized it wasn't coming from outside. It was inside his head. Trying to distract himself, he looked at his laptop, but the screen had changed. It wasn't his project anymore. It was a video. A dark room. A girl sitting in the corner, crying. Then suddenly, she looked straight into the camera and said, Rafi, can you see me? His hands began to shake. He paused the video. The timestamp. 3 years ago. Then he remembered. 3 years earlier. A girl had gone missing in this very apartment. She was never found. This was the last place she was seen. Rafi's breathing became heavy. And then the phone rang again. He answered, trembling. Do you recognize me? Are you that girl? Yes. Where are you? I'm here. Where? Silence. Then, behind you, slowly Rafi turned around. His flashlight flickered, and there she was, standing right behind him. Empty eyes, a twisted smile. You're late. What happened next? No one truly knows. The next morning, police entered the apartment. Rafi was gone. Only his phone and laptop remained. On the laptop, a video was found. It showed Rafi sitting still, and behind him, the same girl. Slowly, she looked at the camera and said, "Now I'm not alone anymore." Since that night, people say, if you call that apartment late at night, sometimes a girl answers, and she asks only one question: can you see me? Now the question is for you. If you received a call at 1 a.m. and someone whispered, "Help me," would you hang up or keep listening? And what do you think really happened to Rafi? If you want more real-life style horror stories like this, let me know. The next story will be darker, more disturbing, and much closer than you think.